evening, and welcome to Pigskin Isn't Just for Football, or Pigskin Isn't Just for Cooking.
Whoa.
Fantasy football podcast. This is your commissioner with the dish, Adam Bullock here. Here with Evan Forbes, kissing cousins.
I'm here.
Hey, man.
We're here.
We're here.
We are here. Back
2
to
weeks.
our normal schedule.
Normal schedule, yes.
That
One
messed-
podcast a week instead of two.
Yeah.
That kind of messed us up, didn't it?
I was forgetting who played what games. I forgot what week we're on.
What week are we on?
We are on, this is week 13 we are playing right now.
Oh, we're right there.
I will say, though, and please, for you fellows out there, correct me if I'm wrong, I want to say the audio was better when we were doing the Zoom episode.
Really?
Well, because I think when Zoom records it, I think they do some stuff with the audio while they're uploading it, so I think they clean it up.
Well, when I had my Zoom activated, I had the filter going on to where it canceled out all the background noise.
Nice.
So it was already recording that way.
Right. Nice. So I wonder if mine probably wasn't set up that way, but I was in a...
Yeah. Sophie's
I was
a
by
wizard, so
myself.
she's just like, no background noise? Boink.
Oh, it's
You
just this
know?
button right here.
Yeah.
Also, too, I think we weren't get the echo from our individual microphones.
That makes sense.
Like, I can hear myself on your track through your microphone, whereas that wasn't an issue when we were doing our own
I see.
on the Zoom.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that makes sense.
But I like doing this better.
Well, yeah, we're
If
in
I'm being
person.
honest.
It's personable. It's, I'm glad we know that it can work. So now we can
Sure.
have guests
Yeah.
that are out of town,
gonna
like
do it.
Johnny or Melvin.
Gotta do it.
And it also helps us in a pinch.
Right.
Holiday season, all of that.
Right. And yeah, we might have to keep that in the back pocket, like you said. Holidays coming up and start getting busy.
We could do a little holiday jingle cast before. I don't know
Jingle cast. I love that, dude.
Yeah, we'll see.
I love
We'll
that.
see what happens. We're playing with some fun ideas.
We got some time. A few more weeks.
Right. Well, only 2 weeks of
Regular
season.
Yeah.
We'll get into that a little bit later.
Mm-hmm.
But no corrections, as far as I see.
I didn't think of any, and nobody said anything on the message board.
The only thing I would want to correct from last week is fix me from losing. But
what the scores end up being?
yes.
Yeah, for sure.
Ugh.
For sure. Just another 7 points, buddy.
I'm not it's starting to wear me down, man. Losing by under 7 points every effing week.
And we talked about this earlier because he asked me almost immediately when I walked in if I had a chance to go back and look, and I sure did. And yeah, there's only 1 week where you lost by more than 8 points, and it was like by 20 something points.
Yeah.
But every other week it's been like 8.3 and under.
Right there,
like
and
that.
it's all the way up till Monday too.
Super
I'm stressed out, bro. I think I
frustrating.
got a bunch of gray hair. Who knows?
Yeah, you guys can't see this, but every week I'm seeing more and more.
Awesome.
Oh boy.
So yeah, no corrections. So let's talk about this week's news.
Who will the Patriots' #1 receiver be this weekend? My brothers are fantasy warriors. We share our knowledge with one another. Whatever my brother knows, I know. And all of their knowledge will be mine. I'm gonna crush you guys this week.
I will say that soundbite is a little bit more poignant because of what happened on Thursday's game. As far as what receiver the Patriots are going to use, apparently they're going to use a defensive receiver.
Yeah, their cornerback or defensive back. Crazy.
I was trying to keep up on the game, so I'm looking at the play-by-plays through the app. Right, it tells us how many points everybody gets, all the stuff, and then because I'm seeing Mac Jones has a 40+ touchdown, I'm looking at all the other players listed. I'm not seeing anybody with a +40 catch, and then I go into the actual play-by-plays, and it shows M. Jones completes a pass to M. Jones for 40+. I was like, what the fuck is going on? I had to find a video on YouTube to figure it out. I was like, oh, okay, it's a defensive guy.
And I went into Sleeper and I looked the guy up.
Yeah,
I don't know if we can pick up defensive players because we
I was
can't
gonna
slot
ask.
him.
Right.
We can't slot him, but he is their return guy, and he has 3 or 4 20-point games.
Is that right?
Yeah, it's like dude's got points.
Dude, we're not going to do defensive players.
Absolutely not.
Okay. I was making sure this wasn't like a slow burn into
No,
into that conversation.
I don't want to. It's not happening.
Okay.
Because it's gonna be. It would be like kickers, man. It'll be 1 or 2 guys that just score lots of points,
Right.
and it just wins you the week.
Right.
So
Sure.
that's more luck based than like I was just like, yeah, I got Justin Tucker, the
Yeah,
kicker, who's
that's 15
just
points.
got 50 points.
Yeah.
And one of my kickers missed 3 field goals, and I have negative 10 points.
Yeah.
So there I lose.
Right.
That's the whole reason I got rid of him in the first place.
It is super frustrating. Like, there's no reason a kicker should be getting. I've said it for years. There's no reason a kicker should be outscoring position players.
Which I could have tweaked the points and all that,
Sure.
but I just let's just get rid of the position. Yeah. Let's add a super flex. Let's,
It was the right decision.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
So with all that news, let's get into some real news. Melvin Gordon, Captain Fumbles, who got dropped by Denver, expected to sign with the Chiefs. Did sign to the practice team, right?
Well, okay, so I tried to check that, and I checked his player on the app, and it shows him in the Denver jersey, but with the Chiefs background. And the last update still says expected to sign. So I have no idea.
Gotcha. Yeah, that must be going crazy with your color coordination. You're just like, what team is it?
Dude, I will say, you bring that up, that is the worst, when the background of the player doesn't match the team of the jersey they're wearing. Like, come on. Give me a break. Figure it out.
This is not this. Is this even the right Melvin Gordon?
Yeah.
But I really think he did get signed to the practice squad.
Okay.
But we'll see. That's a great pickup. Yeah. Yep. Still in the Denver jersey with the Kansas City background.
Daskell's got him.
That's a great pickup. Maybe not for fantasy, but for the Chiefs on their playoff push.
Was that Daskell's whole play, dropping Clyde Allaire in the beginning of the season, knowing that Melvin Gordon was going to the Chiefs eventually?
I think he had some inside track on things because
playing 60 chess.
He's having a great year. Either he's an inside man or he's the luckiest man in fantasy
How
football.
quickly I will turn against anybody who's just winning in our league. Like, I've completely forgotten about Raul at this point.
What's so fantastic about Daskell being on the top is he has come out of his shell and he is just going to town on his trash talk. It's something else because it's also just randomly timed too.
Right.
Like they'll be like, "Oh, midnight, blah blah blah." I'm just like, where did this come from? 6 a.m. Oh, just fuck you, Johnny.
Right, responding to something that he didn't see the night before.
Yeah, what is going on?
First thing in the morning.
Where did this come from? But no, he is out of his shell. He is the cocaine bear.
Out of his mind.
He's going at it.
He really is holding down bunnies for us. We appreciate it. We love you, man.
It's super fun. Good luck in playoffs. You get a bye at least. He was saying today that his luck might be running out, and that's
dude. He's not
that's
guaranteed
a
a bye. If he loses the next 2 games,
no,
he'll be
if he does get a
10-4.
bye. If he's top 2, get a bye. So right now
there's no way he can get 3rd place at this point.
I don't think so.
No, he can't because I've got 5 losses.
Yeah,
and I'm in 4th. Dan's in 3rd, I believe.
Only Dan can supplant him as the number 1 because none of the rest of us can get to 10 wins.
Right. Right. So Raul is 7-5 at 3. So the worst record you could, or the best record you could have,
is 9
at
and
3rd place is a 9-5.
Yeah.
And Daskell's worst record he could have right now would be a 10-4. So he's guaranteed a bye week.
Yeah.
Dan is not because he is 2 games behind. Playoff math. We'll talk about it later.
I know we can't help, but we're just jump right into it, didn't we?
We specifically just designated a whole section of this podcast later to do exactly what we're talking about now.
So let's just keep going on. Elias Mitchell back on the IR.
Oof.
Out longer than 4 weeks, which is the normal IR stint, or
That's
what you would
go-to.
want the IR stint to be.
Yeah.
But he's out 6 to 8 weeks with a knee injury.
Right.
That's big. That's big for a powerhouse offense.
It's big for the.
But they have CMC, who is also having some knee soreness. So they might sparingly use him and try to punch some newbies in there.
Well, they got this Jordan Mason guy.
Is that the guy I picked up?
You do have him.
Yeah, that was the guy I picked up. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a bummer for the Niners because they're on a tear right now.
Yeah, and I think that'll continue to happen. I was looking at some crazy Jimmy G, he's 40-19 for the.
Oh, is that for the Niners?
For the Niners,
is that right?
Yeah, he's.
Wow.
Why do they ever draft the young blood to take over? Because he's obviously doing something right.
He was getting some injury issues and all that stuff.
He's older than what we thought he was. Because he played behind
Brady
for a very long time.
Yeah, I forget how long I mean, I always forget how long he was playing behind Brady.
Right.
It's
So
always
he's
longer than
he's
I
a
think.
newer starter, but he's
Right.
been in the league for a long time. You know,
Right.
like Heineke. He's just like,
Right.
oh, this guy's been playing football
This is
for a
10th
long
year
time
or something like that?
Yeah, I
Heineke
think
year?
8th or something.
Is it? Okay.
Because he looks like a young man, and
Right.
you
He just
know,
hasn't gotten beat up as much because he hasn't been on the field as much.
Yeah, that's part of it. Big hit for Atlanta. Kyle Pitts, knee surgery, out for the season.
Yeah, I believe that's Dan's guy too.
Right.
We were talking about that earlier. That was one of the guys he was always having issues. Do I play him? Do I not play him? Do I play somebody else? So now the decision has been made for him. And yeah, that is a bummer for the Falcons.
I'm gonna throw in another IR that's not written down here,
Mm-hmm.
but I read this morning Matt Stafford going
dare
on
you.
the IR because he's been in concussion protocol twice. And
So it's official IR.
yes,
Mm.
so he's on the IR and in protocol for concussions and probably his elbow. I don't know why they try to play it. Like,
Probably is up.
it's probably his elbow, right?
Yeah.
They're just like, oh yeah, we try to downplay it all season and preseason, but yeah, they're in reshape mode because even the whole team's broken. The
Well,
Rams.
So how many more years do we think old Stafford has in him?
I think he should retire,
He's
especially 2 concussions this year in 2 weeks,
right.
and a baseball thrower's elbow in football. Is it not is he not an IR? Am I wrong?
Oh no, I think he is. I was just looking at who the backup would be. This John Wolford.
Oh yeah,
Wolford.
I think they might go with a tandem or 2 different QBs.
Gotcha. Are they gonna have a pretty solid pick position next year? They're at 3 and 8.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting for a Super Bowl team to
That's crazy.
bounce into that. But yeah, they're just injuries.
I mean,
they
just
gave it
one
all to
by
win the Super Bowl.
one.
But yeah,
I mean, yeah, you would have told me in August that this team would be 3 and 8. Like, you're fucking crazy.
yeah, absolutely.
What?
Yeah, just what is going on?
Tough stuff. So yeah, Matt Stafford. Who has Stafford? Is that Johnny? No,
I'm not sure.
Johnny's got Cousins.
I'm
and,
not sure.
Of course, he's not listed on the team because he's in IR, so I have to actually look up the players. But
That's
you know,
over there. But yeah,
it is Johnny.
It is
Yeah,
Johnny.
Johnny's got him.
Yeah. So that's tough. This could be. He got his ring,
He did.
and he could be.
And you
just
know what?
like
Good for him. I'm
Leonta.
glad he did.
Absolutely,
He's a
deserved
really
one.
good quarterback.
Absolutely.
Yeah. He had Calvin Johnson for a few years. They couldn't make anything happen.
He's one of the best comeback quarterbacks of all time.
Oh, dude, he is the classic fourth quarter,
Yeah.
2-minute drive quarterback, man.
Yeah. So
Classic.
great. And a tough one, too.
And that's why he's got the pitching elbow, because he was throwing probably more in the fourth quarter than the other 3 quarters combined.
Yeah. Yeah.
And big
more-
throws.
Especially in Detroit, because they were the most pass-happy team for those years.
Oh, is that right?
And than any other team.
After their 0-16 season when they were starting to rebuild. And
They were throwing all
Yeah.
the time.
I think Matt Stafford came in right after that, or right before that season, the 0-16 season.
I don't remember.
I can't
He
either.
was there
But
for a long time.
I think he was right around then. He might have just gotten in before that, but
Gotcha.
tangents.
Speaking of concussion protocols,
Mm-hmm.
Joe Mixon still in protocol.
It's a pretty big hit still for Raul.
Yeah.
I don't want to say that's why he's been. I mean, he hasn't been sliding down.
He had a 3-4 game streak, and now he's up to.
He's back on a 2-game.
Up to, and really, he's gonna make the playoffs. I think. We'll
Sure,
see.
you would expect it.
I'm
yeah.
hoping I do. There's fucking playoff math. We'll get there. I keep breaking.
And I always forget. Joe Mixon, he had his week 10 bye, and then the week before his bye week is when he blew up for that 53-point game.
Yeah. I
So
want a 53-point game against somebody.
I've had a 66
I haven't, man.
point
I've had
game.
a very just normal, regular. Like, hey guys, we're playing football.
I mean, we've seen your name on the Players of the Week a couple times.
Yeah, absolutely.
But you're right. It hasn't been anything over like a crazy 40 burger or
No,
50
it's like
or 60.
29.
Yeah.
I don't even think I broke 30 even with a. I think I broke 30 once with a quarterback.
Melvin, look it up. I expect an answer by tomorrow. I expect you to be listening to this on your way down to Bunny's because I will have it ready for you, fella.
Yes. We will play it for you at Bunny's if you do not listen to it.
Yeah, we should be really outsourcing all these statistic questions in league history to Melvin. He should be our league historian for all these kind
I
of
think
questions.
he'd really be into that.
The job's open.
Yeah. Yeah, let's do it. And then we can, we're ring him up. This said, Melvin says.
Like, don't all good announcers have like a stat guy just feeding them stats all the time?
Yeah,
that's what
he's
we
the,
need.
like the stat and joke guy. So,
that's
like,
what this
he's,
podcast
like,
is missing.
The comedic interlude,
Yes.
and just like, oh, here's like the hard stats.
Right, and then here's some random stuff that only Melvin knows about these
Yeah,
players.
like this dude's really into D&D.
Yeah, right.
This guy owns a jet that I don't know.
This dude makes his own barbecue sauce. You didn't know that, dummy?
Yeah, well, he does.
That was Joe Mixon.
Yes.
Next, yeah, go ahead.
Same team, Jamar Chase. Mm-hmm. Coming back this week. It
We'll
looks
see.
like.
I hope not.
Oh yeah, you face.
Well, see, it's a double-edged sword, right? Because I love the connections with Joe Burrow, but
Oh yeah.
Johnny's getting those points. He's getting more points than me for a touchdown.
Yeah, but I mean, the rest of the wide receiver crew there has really stepped up, and I could
true.
see Chase being on a snap count because the other wide receivers are doing so well.
I would love to hope that too, but I don't think Jamar Chase is that kind of guy. I think if he's out there playing,
No, he's
gonna rack
a
in
big
20
head.
points.
He's out
Yeah.
there. It's like, give me the ball.
Exactly. It's kind of like a Tyreek Hill. I feel like whenever Tyreek Hill is kind of like a questionable, or kind of, it's like he still comes out and fucking puts up, 70-something yards and 6 catches, and you know what I mean? It's still a solid outing.
Yeah, because he just runs around everybody.
Which he also has, so.
Yeah.
And then somebody that, I don't know, Brandon Cook is out for the Texans, and he's in Mile High's lineup.
Mile High's a busy guy. Maybe he just hasn't checked it yet.
It's a bold move, Cotton.
Yeah. He's still, unfortunately, he's still
strategy.
projected to win
Yeah.
over Beetle. But Beetle can make that up in no time. Beetle's team can pop off.
He sure can. Because, again, and Daskell is the fucking king of this. Daskell, who beat me last week, who got a highest score last week, also had a goose egg on his bench, on his team again.
Right.
That's like the third time he's either
Yeah.
won his matchup or gotten a high score with a 0 in one of his positions. This time it was Kyle Otten, Kate Otten.
Yeah. I'm going to have to make a medallion for him or something. Some little trophy that's the luckiest man in football.
And you want to talk about luck. I mean, when you have a player, didn't one week you have 2 people that got zeros and he still got?
And I think he got highest score that week
Yeah.
too or something. Yeah.
Dude, bananas. And I also want to give a shout out to Chris Alex because he is consistently the best manager for our trophies.
Yeah.
He's consistently the one that if he gets basically the max points or close to his max points every single week.
Oh, yeah.
So
He's
kudos to
playing
you.
all the right guys.
Because he only has the right guys to play.
Ah.
Yeah. Oh, no.
Funny how that works out.
No.
Well, that means his bench isn't outscoring his players.
That's right.
So
That's right.
that's what that means. Other notable questionables still in lineups.
Mm-hmm.
Josh Jacobs,
Oh, yeah, that's right. Oh, yeah.
who has had a hell of a week before, is the top running back, which we'll talk about shortly.
He's the reason Dan is where Dan is at in our league right
Yeah,
now.
Josh Jacobs and the Dallas Cowboys. That's Dan's team.
And ODB, he's
Well,
making his rounds.
He's got Nick Chubb too.
He's got Nick Chubb, of course.
Yeah, well, Nick Chubb's awesome.
Nick Chubb and
I've
Josh
always
Jacobs,
liked
that's a tough tandem. That's
Yeah.
almost as bad as Tyreek Hill and Jamar Chase.
Yeah.
I guess it's the same thing on the other
or
on the other
Tyreek Hill,
position.
Stephon Diggs.
No, I'm saying.
Yeah.
No. Oh, does Johnny have Stephon Diggs?
Yeah.
Oh, fucking shit, dude. I forgot that.
Dude, he is. His wide receiver core is stupid.
Gross.
Pretty sure. Yeah, because Justin
Yeah.
Jefferson's on Raul's team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, stupid.
I know. Stupid fun.
Ugh.
This is stupid fun.
And ODB hasn't made a decision yet. He's still doing his
ODB
runarounds. The
I
Giants and
guess.
Cowboys.
Giants, Cowboys, taking jets, getting kicked off planes,
Oh, that's right. At least he's not getting in standouts
Right.
with the cops.
Oh, my gosh.
We didn't bring that up.
Antonio Brown.
It is news. It's football-related news, I guess.
It's not football-related news.
He's just
'cause
some
he's
dude
an
now.
ex-football player.
He's just some dude.
He's just a regular guy who's
Oh,
losing his mind.
CTE. It's a real thing.
Who's losing his mind.
It's a real thing.
Yes.
It's a dangerous game.
He's lost his mind, and it's sad to see
Ugh.
because he was a phenomenal player. But
Yeah.
it's one that we got to see happen in the public view, rather than reading about this 54-year-old committed suicide who was a defensive back for blah 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 so many years ago.
I was almost going to say it too. I'm like, no, I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to bring it up.
What?
Who you were talking about?
Oh, I have no idea who I'm talking about.
Oh, I thought you were talking about.
Oh,
Yeah.
the movie star that just happened. He became a movie star. I can't remember. Yeah. I saw that briefly too. I try not to read all the sad news in the world.
Right. Right.
But yes, other questionables on lineups too. Etienne on my questionable on me. I think he's gonna play.
Yeah.
If he. That's what makes me so mad because I lost last week by 6 points, and he was cleared to come back that game. He was cleared to come back, but good on them. Good on Doug Peterson being like, we're gonna save this guy. They end up winning that game anyway.
Yeah, they did.
A tough game, but
Didn't call that one. Neither one of us did.
No.
We both lost that one.
I have not been doing well.
Ooh,
the past
last
few
2 weeks. We'll talk about it.
we'll
Last three?
talk about
Yeah.
it. But
No, just last 2.
just the last 2. Yeah, I'm letting you catch back up, I guess.
Oh.
But no, that's tough. I hope he plays. But gosh darn
But
it,
you have a
that hurt
pivot
me.
though.
Yeah,
You got
I do.
Pittman. You've
Got Pittman to put in. I might put in Peoples Jones.
Yeah.
Because Deshaun Watson's back. That could be a sneaky
Super
play.
sneaky, dude.
The super sneaks.
Dude, I haven't heard Peoples Jones. I've heard that name in ages, I feel like.
know.
But now's
But he's
the time.
been good. He's been averaging really well. He's a solid flex play. But, I've had other flex players doing better.
Yeah, and you've got but now he's going to have a better quarterback.
Right.
I think, obviously. I think
And
Deshaun
we'll see. He
Watson's a
hasn't
better
played in,
quarterback.
like 2 years?
Yeah,
So,
I guess that's true.
We'll see.
Yeah.
I kind of want to wait and see.
I'm
what
excited
happens
for what he's going to do. I'm
there.
excited.
Against Houston, his old team.
Oh,
I mean, that's the whole reason I feel like they did. This is NFL working its magic to get viewership.
Yeah. That was also
Because
one
they
of,
extended it. Because
that's right.
he got in trouble. They gave him his stuff. He appealed it, and then they extended it. And they're like, you know what? We'll have you come back and face your old team.
there's been a few of those. The whole Russell Wilson.
Yeah,
There's been they know what they're doing.
yeah. It's a business. That's for sure. So that is our news.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go into our weekly report.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about the best of the best. Let's talk about my team. Guys, you nervous, excited?
I'm shocked. I'm bewildered.
I am a champion! Success in all endeavors.
Oof.
And highest score this past week goes to none other than Daskell.
Yeah.
Well done, sir. You did
Yeah.
it again. He scored a whopping 172.82. It's crazy, though, how the weeks go on, the lower the high scorer gets,
Notice that.
right?
Yep. This wasn't a very high scoring week at all.
We haven't broken 200 in a while, if I remember right. Or was that a few weeks ago?
I thought Dan did last week.
Oh, well. Gosh darn it, Dan. Hope you
Ah,
had-
well.
Oh, well. I could be wrong. But I don't think he did.
No, he didn't. 192.
Yeah, he didn't break 200. It's been a bit.
Week 10 was 183.
Yep.
Week 9, 180.
Yep.
And then week 8 was the last 200, which
Yep.
was Dan.
Okay.
So Dan is the last person to have over 200.
Yes. Well, with players like Josh Jacobs putting up big numbers doing that. Lowest score of the week goes to Melvin.
Yeah.
121.9. At least it's still above 100.
Yeah.
You gotta take it where you can get it, especially on the playoff push, because it still keeps him higher points than me.
Oh, yeah. He did outscore you this week?
Did I get outscored? No.
Nope.
No.
You got him by 10?
I would have been the lowest scorer if he outscored me this week.
You didn't get what I wrote down there, but there's an extra number in there somewhere.
Yeah, that's okay. But congratulations to Daskell. Get back on it, Melvin. You got it.
You're still in it.
You're still in it.
Everybody except Beetle's still in it. Sorry, Beetle. But everybody except Beetle's still in it.
But Beetle still has the chance to be the one kicking people out.
Yeah, dude.
So keep it up, Beetle.
Yeah, dude, that's your game.
Just
I was
keep
so
kicking people
hoping you're
out.
going to be that guy last week against Dan, but you're good.
It was real close.
Yeah.
He would have beat Dan if, in our players of the week, we'll get there, if Josh Jacobs did not go off and do what he did. That was the whole reason. Because I'll just start with Josh Jacobs' players of the week. Running back of the week was Josh Jacobs. 53.3 points.
Nasty.
Gross.
Yeah.
Getting it. Getting it in our league and getting it done because he... Yeah, you would have been tied with Dan.
Yeah.
And it would still just be Daskell clinched for playoffs.
Yeah.
And
We would have, neither one of us would have been guaranteed a playoff spot. Oh, no. I think if I would have won, I would have been guaranteed a playoff spot. Because
Right, but you didn't win.
Right. But had I won, It wouldn't have been just Daskell guaranteed the playoff spot.
But
I
had you
did
won,
not.
but you didn't.
Yeah.
And if he would have lost, you guys would both be 7-5, or whatever you're.
Oh,
at.
that's right. Yeah.
Yes. So. Yeah.
Again, I keep thinking last week I played Dan. That was the week before. I'm all
Yeah,
messed up.
Thanksgiving got us a little crazy. I don't know what's going on. I still got the itis. I think I don't know what's happening. We'll see. But QB of the week, Josh Allen for Raul, scoring 33.9 points.
Not a very high QB of the week.
Well, that's the Josh Allen average, which is really nice.
You're right. But I'm saying nobody else just blew up as far as quarterbacks are concerned. It was just a really average.
Right.
I mean, even on the bench, a little bit better, but not so much better.
Right. Well, but still better. And who would have thought that, right?
Yeah.
Anyways, moving on. Wide receiver of the week, Christian Watson for Green Bay on Daskell's team, 27 points.
Was on Daskell's bench last week as a wide receiver on the
Yep.
bench warmer, and he corrected that this week.
Yeah, got it.
Was that this week or last week? Ugh,
That was
whatever,
last week.
fellas. Was it?
Yes.
He was on the bench of the week? Okay.
He was the bench warmer of the week before.
Okay.
Yes.
Was it week? Okay. See,
So week 11.
I'm all messed up. You know why it is? It's because when I wrote this script, I had not last week's script, but the week before's script. So when I'm changing all the players,
I see.
I'm replacing him. So I replaced him on the bench, but that was, you're right, 2 weeks ago script.
Yeah,
So.
yeah, that was 2 weeks ago. Tight end of the week. Here we go. Travis Kelce. Who could have guessed that one? With 15.7 points. That's a real low score for tight ends.
For tight ends, yeah.
And I know Daskell put in the question, I think last night. It was like, is it just me, or is tight ends really weak this year? Like, yes,
Yeah.
absolutely, across the board, tight ends have been really down this year.
And that's pretty much what everybody writing articles about fantasy players and stuff is saying about tight ends too. Like, really, there's two, and then you're just kind of scrambling to figure out who's going to blow up week to week. It's just tough.
Yeah, it's literally
If
Mark
anybody's gonna blow
Andrews,
up.
Travis Kelce.
Right.
Those
Exactly.
are the two.
Yep.
And that's what it is. Which, next year it's probably going to be different.
Right.
Someone's going to write up plays being like, oh, you know what? Last year tight ends didn't do anything, but like we're going to really sneaky play this year. Our tight end's going to get all the points.
Hawkinson.
Right. I fucking hope so. He has the potential, especially
Yeah.
on
On
that
a new team, yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. And defense of the week, Miami Dolphins. Going to town. They benched their team at halftime at that point. They're just like, our starters, because they were just whooping. But they scored 33.2 points.
Yeah, they played Houston.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
and
right.
that's why I picked up the team that's playing Houston for this week. The Browns. That's why I picked up the Browns defense this week, because they're playing Houston again.
Yeah, you spent a good amount of money this week getting ready for the playoffs. That was a smart move. You got it? Going in?
I really wanted him. I knew I wanted him, and I was a little nervous that somebody else might try to get him. And so I was looking at who had money left, and depending on who I was trying to outbid, that's what I did. Yeah, but I got the checkbook. I got the money. I got 4 or 5 weeks left to use it.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
And you don't have a playoff spot secured.
Right.
So, yeah,
What are you
make
gonna
sure
do?
your
Yeah.
team's ready to go. Absolutely. It was the right move.
Can't take it with you. Bench warmers of the week. We touched on it just briefly, but the quarterback bench warmer of the week, Mike White for Mike Melvin, 39.3, outscoring, the top quarterback of the week.
Yeah, the Jets
Surprising.
had a great team. Had a great game. Sorry.
Yeah. It's not surprising. I am just surprised that Mike White came out and blew up like that.
Right. I don't think anybody was expecting that.
No. And he was on Melvin's bench. You couldn't have predicted that, so tough. Running back of the week, Miles Sanders. Right? Miles Sanders? Why doesn't that sound right for a second?
No,
Yeah, that's right. Miles Sanders. For Daskell, 29.5. Huge.
Yeah, they ran all over
Seahawks.
Green Bay. Wasn't that Green Bay?
Where's Miles Sanders on the Seahawks?
He's on the Eagles.
Hey, the Eagles.
And they
that's
played
right.
Green
that's
Bay.
Right. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a guy you like to have. That's a guy I'd like to have.
He went
right
from
now.
scoring no touchdowns last year to really having a career year.
Yeah, he
which is
really
great.
is.
Because I think it's a contract year too. So
Oh,
good
for
on
him?
him. Yeah.
Yeah. The Eagles are doing very well. Wide receiver on the bench, Garrett Wilson for Johnny. Woo,
Not even just the bench, but the taxi squad.
Oh, is he on taxi?
I think so.
Ooh, TS 31.9. Woo. Again, that's that Jets game. That's the reason Mike White did so well, is because Garrett Wilson did so well. Right?
Yeah.
He's a Jets. He's a green and white.
You got it, dude.
Tight
He's a
end.
green and white.
Tight end bench warmer of the week. Dan's guy, Dalton Schultz, 19.1. I'm surprised.
He's all in playing Freiermuth, I guess, and not Schultz.
I was very surprised. I mean, Dalton Schultz was the one that was scoring those touchdowns that game. And I was very surprised too. But what are you going to do? And then the defense of the week on the bench was Johnny's Baltimore Ravens scoring 16.4.
Yeah, that's a pretty normal average for defenses.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
So in a nutshell, our Week 12 matchups.
Oh, I gotta do the sound
you
cue.
can do it.
We can do it now because somebody has won a matchup.
Because someone lost to Johnny.
You're down by 7 with 4 minutes to go.
I'm gonna be lucky if I get a point out of these donkeys. Oh my god, there was a sack.
That's a point.
And a fumble.
That's another point.
Oh my god, they're running it back.
No.
That wasn't points! That was an 8-point play!
Are you kidding me? Am I seriously going to lose to Taco? Come on.
And I did lose to Taco by just about 8 points.
Dude, that 8-point play, it's just clicked to me. I'm like, dude, the 8-point play, like that's classic you losing, dude.
That soundbite just hits on so many levels.
Oh, that is awesome.
I know, you heard it as you pointed at me.
Yeah, I was like, oh, yes, 8-point play, that's you.
Boo. But anyways, Daskell defeating you. 172 to 149.
Yeah.
That was a fun matchup. It was a back and forth matchup.
It was.
Because I'm like, oh man, you're taking this. And then you went down and then back up, and then he just slowly climbed up and took it from you.
Yeah, the Monday night, again, it wasn't obviously mathematically impossible, but Monday I needed his defense to get like negative points, and rarely does that happen. Rarely. But that was a bummer. It was a bummer. I just need that one more win.
Yep. Raul with the easy win over Melvin, 166 to 121. That's a tough one. Raul really needed that win. And I'm going to say 160s are going to be the average we see going forward. That's going to be the playoff points,
You think so?
I think that's going to be our average.
Okay.
But, don't quote me on that. We'll see.
We just did. This is recording.
It's recorded. Shit, I forgot. We record this?
This is all on the record, fella.
Yeah. But, just like how on the record week 3, I was like, Bills are winning. Bills are going undefeated.
Oh, dude, I'll say the Rams, dude. Whatever.
On after that, Dan narrowly taking it to Beetle. He won 166 to 159, carried by the 53-point by Josh Jacobs.
You saying it was like the last play of that game too, right?
It was overtime, I believe. There's 4 minutes left. Tied game, and he just rips off like an 81-yard touchdown.
The Raiders are such a weird team.
They are.
Just be a good team, or don't. Just pick one.
Pick one. Which one are you? Who are you? But I really thought Beetle had that in the bag until that happened.
Yeah.
And it was just like, dang.
Yeah.
I'll just hold on, please. You could do it. Moving on, we had Chris Alex taking down Mile High, 160 to 145. I think it was Sunday night. Mile High messaged me. It's like, so we're going to be playing for first pick again, aren't we? Because it was me and him last year in the toilet bowl.
Okay.
And I'm just like, man, it's really looking that way.
Oh, so now who's counting themselves out of this season already?
Hey, man, you never know. You never know. I just want to win.
So
I just want to make playoffs. And then also, and I brought this up in our chat, but I'm so mad because there's 5 people who has a positive points for against points against.
Yeah.
And I'm one of them. I have more points scored than more points have been scored on me, but I'm sitting in fucking 9th place. You go all the way up to 4th place is when that's like,
Yeah.
what's going on? Frustration, and
So good, dude.
I'm sure you can feel it.
I love it.
Coming off me. But yes, Johnny defeating myself, 137 to 131. Those 6 points. Really did
6
it.
points. Tough.
Do you have anything to add over these matchups?
No, other than Yeah, these next every time we say it, hey, we're in crunch time, fellas, but only 2 people are guaranteed, 4 more to go. It's tough.
I know, right?
tough.
And so you just lose by 1 touchdown.
I'm glad I
know
get
the
to see
feeling.
a few of you fellows tomorrow. at
Yeah, heck
Bundy's.
yeah. We're gonna try to get together a little bit tomorrow, and with that, we're gonna take a quick break before we come back in and go over our Thursday night review, our Week 13 predictions for Sunday, Monday, and our new segment, Playoff Math.
Nice.
Welcome back after our break, or we just had our break. I don't know how to say that, but anyways,
We had a break. You guys
hey,
didn't.
we had a break.
Listen to
We're
some music.
back. We're gonna talk about some more football.
Yeah.
Before we get into Thursday night review, I do want to bring up one that we missed for the news. Jameson Williams
Yeah.
being activated off IR, making his debut against the Jaguars for Detroit. That's exciting news. He was awesome in college. He was my number 1 pick going into the draft before he got injured.
Right.
He tore his ACL in the national playoff game.
Tough.
And he's an electric, super fun player, deep threat player, separation. It's another amazing wide receiver weapon for Johnny to have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He-
How
'cause he
he's
needs
going to
him.
make it in the lineup, maybe just bye weeks, but
Yeah.
we'll see. But that's really exciting. Good for him to get out there and play. That might hurt, Amon-Ra St. Brown a bit.
Yeah.
Or it could just be better. Yeah, we don't know. Overall, it makes Detroit better.
Right.
So,
Yeah, you can never tell if it's gonna hurt, help. It's always gonna help the team in
Right.
general. It just might hurt specific players
and for a fantasy purpose.
for our bullshit fantasy stuff.
Yeah.
that they give a shit about.
Those shit. Yeah. All right, some players love fantasy. I think they play. Are they allowed to play fantasy?
I think so.
I don't know. Is there some
As
weird
long as they don't
gambling
gamble on
clause? Yeah, right.
Yeah,
I have no
probably.
idea. But anyways, our Thursday night review. So Week 13 has kicked off. Thursday's game, Buffalo against New England. You chose New England for the upset,
I was trying.
and at first, it kind of looked like it might go that way.
Yeah.
But, of course, Buffalo turned it up. They won 24-10. Notable players for the winning team, Buffalo. We'll talk about Josh Allen real quick. He scored 20 out of his projected 30. But won the game. He had 22 of 33 completions, 223 yards, 2 touchdowns, 8 carries for 20 yards, 2 sacks, and 1 lost fumble.
Yeah.
So, not his best game, but a winning game, and that's all they need, right?
Came away with
For
a
real
win.
football.
Only put 20 yards on the ground, which is, you usually expect to see a little bit more from that. But again, you're going against a New England defense. But, a win's a win.
Right, absolutely. Especially against New England, which Buffalo New England last year was my favorite game of the year.
Oh, yeah.
It was the Snow Bowl where New England passed, I think, twice or once and still won the game.
Yeah.
They just ran it into the ground.
Yeah.
But speaking of running backs for Buffalo, I was quite surprised. Jared Cook took the lead.
Yeah.
He had 14 carries for 64 yards and had 6 out of 6 receptions for 41, scoring 13 points. Having, one more carry than Devin Singletary, who had 13 for 51 yards and a touchdown, scoring 11 points because of that touchdown and not catching any of his passes. He had 5 more touches than Singletary, and Singletary has been killing it this year for
5 more
Buffalo.
touches. He just had 1 more touch. Oh, you're talking about altogether.
Altogether.
And receptions.
He had the
and-
reception.
Yeah. I got you. Yeah. Surprising.
Yeah, and especially with the acquisition of Nyheim Hines, who ran backwards for -3 yards.
Nobody told him which way you're supposed to go.
So, got confused up north.
New team. He's all turned around.
Oh, but scored a respectable 5 points because of his return game.
Yeah. Heck yeah.
But yeah, kind of got lost there. 2 carries for -3 yards, 1 for 2 receptions for 21 yards, which was his biggest play for Buffalo. so far. Stephon Diggs being the man, 7 of 9 for 92 yards and a touchdown, scoring 18 points, which is his projection.
Mm-hmm.
And Gabe Davis could have done better, only scoring 8 points because of his touchdown, 2 of 7 for 15 yards.
Yeah,
you
touchdown
really
saved his day.
Yeah, you really could have seen more points there. Other than that, not much more notable for Buffalo.
Yeah, and New England, obviously Mac Jones, he did 22 out of 33 completions for 195 and 1 touchdown that was over 40 to that the defensive player for New England we talked about earlier.
Yeah,
Marcus Jones? Markin Jones?
Yeah, Marcus Jones.
It's Marcus? Okay.
Yeah.
My guy, Ramondre Stevenson, he did not have a stellar day. He underprojected by 6. He only got 10 out of his 16. 10 carries for 54 yards, 6 out of 8 receptions. I like seeing that amount of attempts. It's that only 24 yards is what get me.
Well, that 1 touchdown would have saved his day as well. That would have put him over his projection. So, I mean, the projections do think he's going to score a touchdown.
Right. And he, so did I. But other than that, no really other notable players on New England, not even their defense.
Yeah, it looks like they spread the passing out quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
They have 5 players that they passed to, not including their defensive
I
players.
was going to say, including an unnamed player on the team.
Yeah, so who, had the 40-plus yard touchdown, and he looked quick.
Yeah.
He looked fast in that. Just got the ball on a screen and outran everybody.
Let's change that guy's position so we can start him in a lineup.
Yeah, can we pick this guy up?
Who's going to be New England's number 1 receiver this week?
I didn't try, but there'd be no use because there'd be no way to slot him.
Right. Because
you need a designation to be able to put him in.
You can't go commish that out and
for me.
Just for you.
Just for me.
Wow. Okay.
Hey, commish powers.
Okay.
I haven't abused him yet after over 9 years, but don't tempt me.
Oh boy. Like I said, I thought New England was going to win that game, but it did not. So you are ahead for this week and this is good because the last 2 weeks, fella, you have not been doing very good.
Yeah, I've only called 1 game each the past 2 weeks. Well, one game that was different. Like we called some games that were the same, but I've only won one of each matchup of our contradicting opinions.
Yeah. For the last 2 weeks.
For the last 2 weeks.
Tough, man. You're letting me catch up. You were letting me catch up because right now you have 43 wins over my 32 wins, and then we've both picked the winning team 64 times, and then we've both not picked a winning team 40 times.
I want to stay above that stat line. As long as I finish above our losses, I will be happy.
And I haven't yet. I'm still 8 behind. I'm 32.
But you're close.
40.
That could happen.
Yeah, for
sure.
But
with the both,
Right. We're crushing. Yeah.
Yeah. We're still doing really well when you count the both.
We're doing all right.
But with our competitive streak, we're into that. With that, real quick, I want to just update everybody on their fantasy football moves.
Yeah.
Raul has made 51 moves this year. Daskell at 35. Melvin at 24. Johnny at 20. Evan at 19. Chris Alex with 12 moves. Myself at 16 moves. Dan making 10 moves. Mile High and Beatall sitting, they're having down there not moving much.
Yeah.
But that's fine.
4
you
moves.
get busy, but 4 moves. They've made some attempts.
The surprising thing is Dan, he's only made 10 moves and he is in second place right now.
That's good. Can't complain about that, right?
Absolutely crazy.
So trade away that money to someone who doesn't have any.
Yeah, right.
Because this is the last week of trades. Trade deadline ends after this week, so after Monday.
So Wednesday will be the finalized trades?
Trades will not be able to happen until the season is over.
Crazy.
And the postseason begins.
You're stuck with the waiver wire, fellas. That
I don't even think
juicy,
the waiver wire shuts
waiver
off
wire.
in the postseason.
What?
Not until I open the league. Once the postseason is
over. Oh, postseason.
Once the postseason starts, you can't do the waiver.
Yeah.
You have to wait until the draft before the season begins.
I thought you were saying, we couldn't pick up waiver wire people after this week.
Oh, no, trades. No. You absolutely can.
Yeah, you have to. You have to be able to.
Maybe just me.
But you're saying after week 17, no waiver wire until
after the draft.
Yeah.
Our draft.
Right.
Which, destination draft, y'all. Save up some money.
Yeah, we're shooting for August.
Yes, let's do it. Preseason game,
Indy.
Indy.
I like it.
Yes. Tickets were, what did I say, around 50 to 70?
Something like that. Week 1 preseason in Indy.
Yeah, $50 to $70. We can carpool.
Yeah.
It'll be easy for Johnny to fly in.
Yeah. To Indy.
Yeah.
Man, let's make it happen.
We
got
10
you got
year
less than a year.
anniversary destination draft.
I like it. 10 years is a big deal, I think, and we should do something very special for it.
Absolutely. Before we talk about our playoff push, let's do our Week 13 picks. So I've picked mine,
Yes.
and you are picking live. Let's see what happens.
We're going to do it right now. Bye weeks for this week is Arizona Cardinals and the Carolina Panthers. Yeah, so like I said, we already did our Thursday game, so we're on to Sunday.
All right, starting off. First game, Pittsburgh at Atlanta.
Dude, I would love to say Atlanta's going to win this game, but I don't know. Pittsburgh beat Indy last week, which I thought was surprising. But I think Atlanta's going to take this one.
All right, you picked Atlanta. I did pick Pittsburgh.
Oh, okay. They're not done with the season yet.
Pittsburgh put a strong showing on. I think Atlanta being down Pitts and
I think about that.
Cordarrelle not 100%.
Right.
It'll be a close game.
Okay.
Just like the Indy game.
Okay.
But I think Pittsburgh will eke it out.
All right.
All right, moving on. A tough one for you to pick, I'm sure. Green Bay at Chicago.
I want to say Justin Fields is going to come out and do some work against Green Bay this week. But I just don't know. Let me look at something real quick. Let me look at my little cheat sheet on numbers I've got.
Oh boy, God. Really? You're gonna pull up the old cheat sheet.
25 anything Chicago is. You know what? I'm a gambler. I'm taking Chicago.
That's fantastic because I also picked Chicago.
Oh, nice.
Yes, at home.
Hell yeah.
Justin Fields is back. Green Bay not knowing who they want to start at quarterback, even though Aaron Rodgers is off the injury report.
Right.
I don't know. We'll see.
Jordan Love? JB Love?
It's about Love time.
Is it JB or Jordan?
Because Love, it's Jordan Love.
Jordan Love?
Yeah, Love came out and he had a fantastic game filling in. So much so that I'm really surprised that they're sticking with Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, really? Well, it's because they're paying Aaron Rodgers more money, I would imagine.
Yeah, but they're also paying him to lose games. So.
Whoa. Okay, I love it, dude.
So let's pay someone cheaper to win games.
Hell yeah, fuck Green Bay.
Yeah. Moving right along, we have a really fun matchup, I think, that could be the highest score.
Ooh.
Could be. I don't think it is going to be.
Okay.
But could be.
Okay.
Jacksonville at Detroit.
I'm taking Detroit.
Me as well.
Nice.
Even though Jacksonville came off a big win last week.
Yeah, they did. I did not see that coming either.
But I just think Detroit's... I just like them. I don't know. The underdog.
Yeah.
The home game. They're a super high-scoring team.
Yeah. I mean, not as much as they used to be. They love giving up points, though, still.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of their bread and butter is letting teams score on them, but that should be good.
I'm really hoping Etienne plays because he's going to score some points. But I think Detroit's going to pull this one off.
Okay. We're in agreement.
Next up, we got New York Jets at Minnesota.
Dude, I would love to pick the Jets, but I think Minnesota's going to keep doing what Minnesota does.
Yep, I'm also on board with Minnesota.
Got a very healthy team right now.
After that, still on the noon games, Washington at the Giants.
This one's tough.
This was a tough one,
especially
for me
after
as well.
showing from Washington last week.
Washington last
2 weeks.
5 weeks.
Well, okay, yeah. Well, see, here's the thing. I was on the Washington train at the beginning of the season pretty quick.
Then you fell off.
And then I got off. Like I like to
now
do.
it's moving too fast and you can't get back on.
I can't get back on. I'm taking Washington this week, though.
I did as well. The Giants just didn't seem themselves. They started off hot. They're a run-first team, and Washington defense is just getting better.
Sure.
I don't know what it is.
They put a stop to Houston's run game last week, which really irked me. But
Antonio Gibson's, questionable, but don't need that when you have Brian Robinson ready to go.
2 weeks ago, by the way, for Houston.
Oh.
Correcting myself before you guys can.
Gotcha. I thought you were correcting me, so I was being a dick about it. Next up, another tough matchup. Tennessee at Philadelphia.
Oh, I think Philly's got it.
Agreed.
Okay.
After that, probably a no-brainer. Denver at Baltimore.
Baltimore, right?
Yes.
Denver's not good.
Denver is the lowest scoring team in football, averaging 14 points a game.
But they have the best defense in football.
They do have the best defense. And,
Third best, I guess, technically.
And Baltimore, see, it's tough when Baltimore's secondary is not good this year.
Right.
They're getting scored on, especially on long passes. So I'm really hoping that, they get some long bombs and Rusty Bilson gets some points.
You're
for
playing
me.
him.
I have to play him, man.
You do this week because Kyler Murray's on a bye.
Right. Well, I mean, he's averaging like 10 to 14 points, which I can get from someone else.
Yeah.
But his ceiling is 30 because he scored 30 points twice this year.
Yeah.
It's like the potential is too great for me not to play him.
How long is Bilson guaranteed to stay in Denver for?
5 years. They traded him for
Unless-
a lot of stuff, and they immediately signed him to a 5-year extension contract.
And they would have to buy him out of his contract in order to.
Yes, he's set there for 5 years.
Sorry, Mile High.
But see, that's interesting because their head coach, who was also at Green Bay prior, Aaron Rodgers had a horrible season with him, his first season. I think it's just first season blues.
Okay.
But I know the articles I read, defense is done with Russell Wilson. They were yelling at him on the sidelines
Because they're doing all the work for him.
You got it.
Like they are.
Why did we give you the ship and the keys to do this?
Right.
Right.
I mean, they're doing their job the best that they can.
Yeah.
Third best in the league right now as far as points allowed. Third best.
Yep.
They're keeping up their end of the agreement. I get it.
I'd be pissed too.
Yeah, for sure.
Fans are pissed. I think everyone's pissed.
Yeah.
I think Rusty Bilson's pissed.
Probably.
You know?
He's Mr. Unlimited, dude.
Yeah, he just had his birthday and only half the team showed up as well.
Was that right?
Yeah.
God damn.
So, which was probably just the offense. So,
Oh, yeah.
if half the
that's
team
right.
didn't show up, the
That's
defense
awesome,
probably
dude.
like, no.
That's awesome. So you are picking Baltimore, I'm sorry?
I
for
am
that?
picking Baltimore.
We're pretty much picking all the same teams except for the Buffalo-Pittsburgh game so far.
Well, we still got, 5-6 games to go.
We'll see.
So, next up, we have Cleveland at Houston.
Cleveland.
Yep.
Let's get
that's
it.
an easy one. Another one, Seattle at the Rams.
Seattle.
Yep. Here we go. What is going to be the
Ooh.
highest scoring game of the week?
Tough.
Miami at San Francisco.
This is the first one that's put me in my tracks for a few of these games. Oof. Miami is playing at San Francisco.
It's the highest scoring matchup, I feel.
Yeah, playing in the Bay Area. I think it's going to be Miami's game.
Very cool.
You picking San Fran?
Absolutely.
Love it.
Let's go 49ers.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Gold-blooded bro. I've been
Nice.
converted this year.
Oh, no, dude.
Let's
Yuck.
get it. Heck yeah. Yuck. Next up, we got Kansas City at Cincinnati.
This one's also tough for me. Because, I'm on Cincinnati's
Also
jug.
high score potential.
Yeah, for sure. And, Cincinnati's 7-4, KC's 9-2. They're playing at Cincy. You know what? Forget it. I'll take Cincy. I'll go for the upset.
I absolutely knew you were going to go for the upset. That's why I did not.
You're taking KC?
Absolutely, I'm taking Kansas City.
If I picked KC, would you have picked Cincy?
No, because I had picked Kansas City.
Because you want to win?
Yes. I got to make up for the past 2 weeks. I can't. I've been going for some of these underdog games, and they have been close.
Yeah.
Like, I think last week I called for a tie on one of the games, and it went to overtime. I'm just like, no, oh my god.
You did definitely call for a title for us last week or the week before, but yeah, dude, I remember
I
that.
was like, oh my god, it's happening.
Finally happening.
How did I call a tie? What are the odds? Fucking, I'm calling up Vegas. I need some money.
It's awesome.
Next up, we have the Chargers at Las Vegas. This was a tough one for me.
I want the Raiders to be a good team so badly. But I think it's going to be Chargers.
Yeah, questionable Josh Jacobs.
Exactly.
Chargers, not fully healthy either, but I think a better team overall.
You got Keenan
They're
Allen
firing
back.
on better cylinders than...
Right. You got Allen back. You got Jelda Everett back. He should be healthy and ready to go this week.
Yeah.
Austin Eckler hasn't been the best this year.
He's been fantastic this year.
Has
Are you
he?
kidding me?
The last
Maybe
3
not.
weeks?
Maybe not the past 3 weeks.
I was
but
okay.
The first few weeks, he was the leading rusher.
Right.
by far.
Well, the first 3 weeks the Chargers were. I was all about them, but
Yeah.
then they've had their injury
Yeah.
slumps.
Yeah, and then Herbert got hurt.
Exactly.
And they just weren't the same.
Exactly.
Because they still tried to be the passing offense that they wanted to be when they should have just been running the ball. But,
Right.
you know,
For sure.
that's okay. But yes, Chargers over Vegas.
Oh my god.
Next up,
Oh my
Indy
God.
at
Oh
Dallas.
my god, dude. You're doing it, aren't you? I'm taking Dallas. Dude, are you gonna do it?
And I am taking Dallas.
Oh, you.
I am taking Dallas. I feel so bad for Matt Ryan because he's going to get eaten alive by that Dallas defense.
Yeah.
They lead the league in turnovers. Indy does.
Indy does?
Yes.
Oh.
And so whoever's playing Dan,
That's not off the back of Jonathan Taylor, though, is it? Does he have a
no,
bunch
it's because of Matt Ryan.
Oh,
Matt
okay.
Ryan's going to
Oh.
hit. He fumbles the ball. He picks.
Yeah.
It's a different Matt Ryan than we saw in Atlanta, which it could be first year Blues.
It's going to be breaking your heart, dude.
I know. Man, I had such high hopes. And I still have high hopes. I still think they could win their division.
Yeah.
But their offensive line is letting Matt Ryan get eaten for lunch.
Yeah.
And now that's what I call a sack lunch.
And it's a primetime Sunday
Yes.
night
And
game
Dallas-
at Dallas.
And Dallas
Woof.
is a great defense. That's why they're winning most of their games, to be honest. Maybe some Tony Pollard's involved.
Yeah.
But it's Dallas defense, and they are going to eat them up.
Yeah. It's going to be, yeah.
And last but not least, our Monday night game, New Orleans at Tampa Bay.
Oh, yuck. You got a 4-8 against a 5-6? Ugh, do I have to pick a team?
You can go for a tie.
No. I think it's going to be Tampa Bay.
Awesome, because I picked New Orleans.
Whoa. Alvin Kamara's a little banged up, man. He's just, he had those few weeks where you thought he was back in form. He's
That's what I thought about Tampa Bay. I'm like, oh, Tampa Bay's back in form, and then they lost miserably last week.
yeah.
And I'm just like, ugh.
Fortnite back in? Is he playing?
Fortnite is back practicing. I don't know if he's back playing.
Okay.
I think he's probably still questionable.
Sure.
But I think it's going to be the Olave show. They got all their wide receivers back besides Michael Thomas, so that'll help take some heat off of him. And I think this is going to be the deciding game that wins him Rookie of the Year.
Juwan Johnson's out.
Yeah.
You got your Taysom Hill.
Yep.
You're not going to play him, though, this week?
No.
Okay.
I'm playing TJ Hawkinson.
Yeah. But you're not going to flex him in?
No. Unless I have to.
Even if Etienne, you'd still play Pittman or Peoples. Dude, you got to play Peoples Jones.
You think so? Against
23-point
Houston?
Game.
Ah,
I think
dude.
so, dude.
I know. I was like, but I want to see.
I'm going to call
I gotta
23
see.
points. But don't do it because I'm saying something. Because I don't want... Again,
No.
I'm not responsible for the advice I give if it's bad. If it's good, yeah.
No, I
want,
get it, dude.
I want credit.
You asked me week 1 for advice, and I tried to give you the worst possible advice I could. Play
So that
him.
was on purpose.
Play him in the rainbow. Play him.
That
Play
was
him.
on purpose.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. We were facing each other like week 1. We were facing each other, and you were asking me advice. Yes.
Rookie
I should
mistake.
just. Oh, you got it. You got it. No, I'm just like, yes, play this guy. Look at it. They're going to be running the ball all the time.
But
You're silly.
just so we're all clear, I still did win
You
week
did.
1.
And I did give you okay advice because you had 2 good players you had to choose from.
Right.
I just kind of chose the shittier situation
Yeah, for sure.
to see what you would do.
And
You
I
know.
hook, line,
Yeah,
and sinker.
you had to put up a good argument.
Hook, line, and stinker.
Well, speaking of hook, line, and stinkers, I know you got a tinker, but let's talk about our playoff math.
2 weeks.
Math.
This week and next week, dude. That's it.
Rough.
We're in it. Mm-hmm. We have 4 people sitting at 5 and 7 right now. Sorry, Beetle, but you are not involved in this conversation. I apologize. You are involved in hopefully knocking some people out, but mathematically, sir, you are not making it into the playoffs. So we've talked about it a couple times. Only Daskell and Dan have guaranteed playoff spots. Right now, what I'm looking at is the best possible record anybody can have for that 6th place position is a 7-7 record.
Right.
That is the best you can do to get into the playoffs. So that means that, oh, wow, you're in 9th place? I didn't realize you dropped below Chris Alex, buddy.
Yeah, because I have lower points scored, but I have the fewest points scored against. Where does that come into play? And how do I keep losing fucking games
It
if
doesn't.
I'm the lowest? I don't know what's going on, but no one scores points on me, but apparently I just can't score points either.
That's amazing. So because the best record can be a 7-7, if I win one more game, I'm in.
Right.
Because I'll have an 8-5, and my worst record would be a 8-6.
Correct.
Johnny needs 2 wins. Even if Johnny wins this week, he is not guaranteed playoff spot.
No, but you do need to beat him this week.
I do need to beat
For
him.
me to stay in contention, I think
Yeah.
it's close because if Dan beats Raul, Raul will be 7-6, which is a game ahead of me. Even if I win, because I'll be 6-7.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Yeah. So there's one spot. Daskell, you, Dan. So top four is in.
Well, yeah.
So with Taco a game in hand. So if he loses and I win, we'll be tied. So they'll be back to like a 3-way tie for 5th and 6th. So
Sure.
man, I'm really hoping. But I have to win this week.
Right.
I have to win out.
You do have to. Well,
Yes.
yeah, you have to win out. But, well, no, I don't know now. Because, let's see, if Melvin loses this week, right? So if Melvin loses and then Mile High loses, because that can happen, and then Chris Alex loses to you,
That'll put me a game up
and I'll put you a game up. Yeah.
with a game still to go. So we
Right.
could still end up with the same record. Even since I have the lowest points scored, if I end up in a 5-way tie for 6th place,
Yeah, you
I
have
lose.
to win. You've got to get a
Yes.
game up. You absolutely have to.
yeah.
Whoa,
I know.
buddy, that's tough. But you're already
Playoff match.
you're already on your way this week. You're somewhat projected to win because Dawson Knox had a big goose egg.
Yeah,
for
that was
Buffalo.
really helpful. And Buffalo defense didn't tear it up like they were
Underprojected
projected.
by almost half.
Right.
Almost got half the points they were
So-
supposed to score.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, it can definitely be done. But you got Keenan Allen back against Las Vegas. It's gonna be a shootout game. Oof. I don't know.
It's going to be the Austin Eckler show over there. It's going to be Austin Eckler versus maybe Josh Jacobs.
Yeah, Daskell, like we said, is guaranteed a bye week at this point. There's no way he can't have a bye week.
Right.
Dan is not guaranteed a bye week. All right, if he loses these next 2 weeks,
No,
that'll
he's
put him
clinched playoffs, but you
Right.
could supplant him for 2nd place.
and so could Raul. I mean, we forget Raul is ahead of me right now because he has more points than me by 40, something like that.
Oh,
41
really?
points.
I
Yeah,
did I miss
Raul
that?
is in 3rd place.
Oh, I missed that too. I didn't realize you went down.
I understand why you avoid saying his name and bring him up. I get it.
Who?
I fucking love it.
I didn't realize you went down either. I still thought you were in 3rd.
Yeah, I went down 2 spots
Gotcha.
from my loss last week, which is a fucking bummer.
Yeah.
A goddamn bummer. But yeah, so yeah, the only person who is guaranteed a bye week is Daskell. So, but yeah, I mean, I would rather not play Taco or Johnny twice if I could avoid it, especially considering I'm banking a lot on Joe Burrow.
You'd rather play me?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
did.
beat you
Yes.
twice. Yes,
I've already beaten you twice. I would love to play you in the playoffs.
don't want to play Dan. I would love for him to get knocked off in like the 2nd round.
But he's already clinched. Oh, if he doesn't make the bye, but he's clinched playoffs.
Yeah, playoffs. But I'd love to see him get knocked off in the
Not
2nd round
playoffs.
or something. I don't want to play him for the final. I don't. Dude, I don't want to play Dan again.
Oh, that's fine. You know, if it all depends on what we see, what the NFL does the next few weeks, because it's going into their playoff time. You know,
As
you know,
far
they
as
could bench players.
oh right, the teams themselves.
Yes.
Right. Who's got the best record in the league right now? Is it still the Eagles?
They are 10-1. Yes.
Yeah, I'm trying to think who would be around the league who might take a few games and not produce like they
Minnesota, I can see
Justin
doing
Jefferson
that because they've
and-
won their division.
Right. So maybe
handedly.
just Jefferson and
T.J. Hawkinson, Dalvin Cook.
Cook and
Who I
Madison
have both.
take a breather. Hopefully, Kirk
I hope
Cousins
not.
takes a little breather.
Heck no.
I always forget about that whole because I think that happened to like Calvin Johnson one year, right? I think there was one year he was blowing up, and then it came to fantasy football playoffs, and he just didn't really play a whole bunch. Like, he wasn't playing full games because I think the Lions either were completely done with the season. That might have been
so they're like, save our star.
That might have been their own 16th season or something.
Right.
I'm not sure. I get all turned around. Melvin, check us on this. But I forget that happens.
Yeah, it does. And it can. Especially, I mean, we could see,
what's Dallas at right now? They're at 8-3.
They still got to play.
Yeah, because they got Washington in their division, which is 7-5.
Yep.
They've got the Giants are in their division too.
I don't.
They're at 7-4.
That's one thing I've never been good at is who the fuck is everywhere playing. Like,
I want to say the Giants and then maybe the Eagles are in their division. I want to say it's Washington, Dallas, Giants, Eagles, and I'm saying it's the NFC East because the AFC East is Patriots, Dolphins, Baltimore, and somebody else.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't have a color-coded map.
I'm not sure. Let's see. AFC East division is... Oh, I said NFC. Yeah, because that's the only thing I was thinking. Dan is if, a team decides to... God damn, I'm good. NFC East. Commanders, Giants, Cowboys, and Eagles.
Nice.
Told you I was trying to figure that stuff out.
Yeah, that's good because I've always wanted to, but then I'm just I start and I'm like, I really don't care.
I don't care enough.
Yeah, I really don't.
I know one division.
Yeah.
NFC North, that's all I really care about.
Yeah. So when it gets down to it, when it gets closer to playoff season, I will know because the TV will tell me so.
Yeah, right, exactly. Exactly. They'll let me know all I need to know about that.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then that's all I'll have to remember it is during that time.
Right, for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and then
I can purge it.
And then reset it again in your brain.
Absolutely. And then start looking at the college draft.
Ugh.
The NFL draft.
Here we go.
Already looking, bud. Already looking.
Yeah. CJ something or other? I've already forgot the guy you said before.
Dang.
Already forgot him.
Dang.
I knew those couple letters.
How am I in ninth place? All right. Well, enough laughing at myself. It's been a wonderful evening potting with you, Forbes.
Yeah.
This has been Pigskin Isn't Just for Cooking podcast. Have a wonderful, safe football Sunday. This is your commish with the dish, Adam Bullock, a.k.a. Just Bob Rossnet. So happy trees, happy clouds, everybody.
Kissing cousins. We'll see you guys next week.